Okay, so I'm Grasswalker. Hello and welcome back to the Dota 2 2022 Bot Masters. Now we have the final stretch of the lower bracket. In the next 4 series, 4 teams will be going home and not getting a piece of that $100 billion prize. We have, as you can see on the screen, the team Sirius AI from Group D sitting in the grand finals waiting to find out who will win the losers bracket. They are undefeated 8-0 in this tournament. Right now we're looking at lower bracket round 3. The game we are about to watch is Valve Default Unfair Bots and Edge AI. I've been going back and forth for a long time on whether or not lower bracket round 3 should be a best of 1 or a best of 3. And I've come to the final decision that it would be a best of 3 to give these teams that have gone so far, so deep in the tournament, the best chance to show a consistent amount of skill and that they won't just immediately lose a game, especially given the recent patch changes to something that is a little bit out of their control, such as a Dragonlance build lineup costing them the game. So I will hide this playoff stage now. If you want to look at it more, then pause the video back when it was on the screen and look at it there. We have a best of 3, no one's there. Unfair Bots against Edge AI. Start the game. I've got to write down who's who.
All pick.
We'll put that down now. Edge AI, of course, had a pretty rough group stage, despite the fact that they came into this tournament the favourites of everything. People thought that they would cruise to victory, and that turns out not to be the case. The analysts were not correct. In fact, they're here battling it out in the lower bracket where they have been for a while. On the Radiant side, we have Rebecca's Bane, Ildeco's Phantom Assassin, Jakiro, Crystal Maiden, and Chaos Knight. I don't think that's a bad lineup. I've seen worse. And on the dire side, Edge AI has picked up Kunkka, Faceless Void, Undying, Winter Wyvern, and Dawnbreaker, the second Dawnbreaker of the tournament. Not sure if we've definitely seen a Winter Wyvern, but I only feel like we've seen one. Now, you are free to argue whether it's Wyvern or Wyvern, and to that, you can have fun with that, because I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to say whatever comes to mind whenever I see it. Last hits and denies count we'll put on before we forget. We've got aggressive movements from the dire side. Edge AI looking like they want to do something spicy here in the bottom lane. They have 3 good killing heroes. Dawn has a slow, a burn. Undying is going to take your life away. I mean, even Wyvern has a slow and a burn. They spy somebody like a Crystal Maiden, they are dead. That little looping sweep by the small camp that we see a couple of different bots like to go for. And then they're here, they're hoping for the old bounty rune, but that's not where the bounty runes are anymore, my friends. Kunkka mid is a solid and reasonable choice. I think it's going to crush this Bane, but you never know when it comes to bot games. Faceless Void should do okay top. Jakiro PA will annoy him, but I don't think they're going to stop him doing what he needs to do. Neither of these teams have played off against each other before. They're coming from opposite groups. I believe we've got Group A and Group C here. Group A being Edge AI, Group C I believe being Valve Default Unfair Bots, but I'm not entirely sure. I think they're the only team from Group C left in the tournament, but I again might be mistaken on that. And here we go, Crystal Maiden caught out in the jungle, but no Dawn was there. Bane with better positioning gets the first last hit, and Kunkka gets nothing to start with. He's a little bit afraid of the ranged hero, which might cost him this lane if he doesn't find his confidence. 2-1 already for the Bane. I like keeping an eye on mid, usually considered one of the more impactful lanes, but nowadays that's not quite true. It might change with the removal of this small camp, but I feel like for the past year all of my mids just sit mid and farm the whole game. They don't do the old classic roaming and ganking that people used to really take a shine on. But
no
Maybe that's just a low MMR thing that I'm used to. Chaos Knight struggling to get at the creeps. He does have 2 CS, but weirdly enough, the Undying is the one farming between. So this is a 4 Dawn, perhaps. CK struggling strength hero against an Undying, never a good thing. Top lane. Faceless Void. Wyvern. Void's got okay farm, but so does the PA. I mean, the standout pull away of this game so far is default unfair bots Rebecca Bane. 11 CS
Denied.
for the nothing of Kunkka. We're seeing a trend of Radiant mids crushing mid, which also is a good reason not to do a best of 1.
First blood.
We missed first blood, I apologise.
First blood.
I didn't spot the HP bar crawling lower and lower. We don't have a stun for the CM, so she will TP away. The Tombstone was used, and that's it. CK dies. Does come back to lane though, nice and cheeky. Might grab himself a CS or 2 before the rest of the heroes hit. Dawnbreaker's under the tower. CK sort of saves her a little bit, but she will die. Because he uses Reality Rift to pull her out of the tower range, and then he did stun her in the end, but he just runs up and stuns her. The tower will get a lot more shots onto her. Faceless Void beginning to pull away on CS. 13 now as well. He's up there in the double-digit gang. Having a decent game. Emo GG bet. Bot. Emo GG bet bot. Sounds good. Kunkka has a chance to get his first CS of the game, but the Dire heroes, they really struggle on this cliff's edge. An empty lane and he's not laning. HAI, like many bots, really not comfortable with this cliff's edge here. We've seen, I would say, maybe 10 to 20 heroes across 15 to 20 games get stuck in this little square area here. Wyvern goes down top. I'm not entirely sure how that happened. The dual breath, phantom strike, couple of right clicks. What they just tried to do to the Void, except Wyvern has no way to defend themselves from it. I think that marks that we've missed all 3 kills in the game so far, so I am terribly, terribly sorry about that. I am not an observer. I'm also not a caster. I'm not really anything, to be honest, but I am doing my best is what I am. Level 1 Crystal Maiden. Having a rough game this bottom lane. CK with 4 CS to the Undying's 10. Even the Dawnbringer with 2 CS, sort of about the same mark as the CK is. I mean, a farming Undying is very spicy. We're looking at Void, he's dead.
I've seen this.
As is the PA. An awkward trade as the 3 and the 1 both go down. Hero now chasing the Wyvern. One of the dragons is just frost, the other dragon has a little bit of fire to help. That looks like that might be the advantage there. 1 for 1, completely even across the board. Kunkka beginning to get a start of a lane with 3 CS, but this Bane is huge now. Phase boots Bane. Bane in the middle lane we're looking at. Dying manning up 1v2, that's what he can do because he's a big fat hero. If he just drops that tombstone, I predict double kill will come his way. It's been a long time since we've seen them, but Extreme Push played a very good Undying who frequently got double, triple, quad kills in the laning stage, just on account of being willing to run up and tombstone multiple heroes whenever it was available. But for the most part, a quiet laning stage. And an even laning stage. The graph looks dramatic, but that's because the sample is only 700 gold. Bane waiting for the rune. I don't like that. It gives Kunkka a chance to lane, but he will remain in this little triangle here, stuck at the stairs. Maiden and CK also a little bit stuck at some stairs. A lot of the bots here having awkward and laboured movement. Whereas you see someone like the Undying, he's happy to just chill out and farm. What's he gonna buy? 700 gold, he's got Bracer Boots. I would like to see him pick up something cheeky like a Vanguard. Dawnbreaker, going in on the Chaos Knight. If he just drops that tombstone here, oh, beautiful. That one zombie is going to slow the Chaos Knight and phase CM out whilst jungling the small camp. Dying maybe a little bit too deep. He grabs the CM kill though, so not too deep at all, and he barely takes any damage. Not too deep whatsoever. The TPs, they come in now. But I'm not sure what they think they'll achieve, because the zombies will hurt them just as much as anyone else. Bane's here too. Meanwhile, the catapult's just wailing on this tower the whole time. I'd love a glyph here. If you glyph here, that catapult gets an extra 4 shots on the tower, I believe, which is an extra 200 damage, which puts it effectively in deny range, and then heroes don't come back here. If you see this at 450, you're like, alright, I'll keep coming bot. You see it at 200, you're like, alright, the bot's lost. Conquer 6 CS in 8 minutes to Bane's 28. 18 denies in the hands of Bane. Meanwhile, on the dire side, the 2 side lanes are going well for them. Void with 35 CS, very fat. From that though, he only has Tread's Wraithband Wand, which is not really anything. Ace occurring. Dying. His CS has slowed down a lot. Oh, we left the lane. Bane dies! Up here. Boat occurred? That's... Yeah, I mean, X-Mark Torrent Boat got the Bane under the tower, and next thing you know, he's dead. Tombstone's dropped. That's a couple of zombies on each of them. 2 zombies chasing the CM. Dawn needed to man up there. I mean, the CM has nothing to offer. Hasn't even got a point in the Crystal Nova yet. CM's almost just gonna solo die to the Tombstone. Dawn may as well come here to get a little tap in. 5 seconds left on the Tombstone. Easy cleanup for the Dawnbreaker. And steals a bounty to boot.
Yes, bounty.
Void. All the CS in the world not helping him lane against this PA. 13 CS from her. Salve cancelled. Ice Path, he's stunned. Where's the Wyvern support? She's not coming. Poor Void's been kicked out of his own lane. Meanwhile, we'll pan down to mid. Bane under the tower again, just cleaned up. I want to say that Bane's lost the mid lane at this point. He farmed so much, but he keeps feeding the kills away. Undying, he's coming in. A couple of decays. 16 strength after those couple decays. Chakiro's in now as well. Macro's on. Doesn't look too bad. Here comes the Ice Path in the macro, but it's just not enough by yourself.
The devil to pay.
Heal onto the Dawn, she might live too. Now you've got 4 heroes from Edge AI, having just killed 4 heroes from Valve Default and Fairbots, and they want a tier 1. Edge AI distinguishing themselves from the default Valve bots. Tombstone under the tier 1. This fight's going to get worse and worse for the Radiant side. They start off by killing the Undying, but the main thing that matters, the Tombstone is here, and look at all of these zombies. Wyvern throwing out the Winter's Blast. The zombies are starting to really add up. It's a double kill for the Undying from beyond the grave. And at the end of it, the tier 1 will fall.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
4 more heroes killed. Hero looks like he might be next, but the jump is not needed. Wyvern. Is that a maxed Winter's Blast? Yes. Oh, it's Splinter Blast, not Winter Blast. So 5 hero wipe at 11 minutes, as now Edge AI looks like they want to crush tier 2 mid. I believe that Edge AI is the team that when they played the Valve default hard bots, sort of crushed them out in like 15 minutes. And it looks like they're on for a similar goal here. Another double kill, now in the hands of the Faceless Boy, but he will die eventually. Never mind, he might just get away. Yeah, he looks like he's on the run. Bane, no Fiend's Grip. Big up my group stage watchers who can let me know in the comments if it's true. I feel like Edge AI played one of the Valve bots and absolutely demolished it in 15-20 minutes. Fastest game of the whole tournament, I believe it was. Oh, maybe that was army bots, actually. Extreme push? No, not extreme push, they never push. Maybe army bots. I shouldn't start talking about stuff if I'm not 100% certain, because I would love to just open up my other monitor and check, but I'm doing a bad enough job of missing kills, not going for something. The laning stage comes to an end now, we will switch over to the net worth graph. The A is coming in, but here's the Dawn with a stun and a heal. Out she goes. Tombstone's down, Macropyre's down, boat's cracked. Oh, the Radiant side are melting. Shakira thinking of running away. Buyback on Bane, his economy's in shambles now. Meanwhile, tier 1 falls. Bane grips the Kunkka, but I'm not sure if it'll be enough. It is enough. This is a dieback for the Bane in exchange for that. Undying's like, go on Crystal Maiden, sing your song, I will just punch you until you die. Man-moding during the CM ult is a very fun play. He just needs to soul rip the CM. One more click. Winter Blast is there. Wait, it gives up. CM escapes with the skin of her teeth. The Vanguard that I requested is finished. The Valve bots, you can see the difference. The Valve bots basically have boots and a mixture of wands and sticks, whereas the other team, Edge AI, is looking at genuine items. Shadowblade for Kunkka's coming out, Maelstrom for Void's coming out, Vanguard's finished, and they all have a raindrop. Even more items are coming out for the Undying. Chainmail. I think that's going to be an amulet. Assuming that still makes that item. Kunkka finding a Chikiro in the woods. Use this X mark already. Torrent catches him. A big right click, one more and it's done. Easy solo kill for the Kunkka, very nicely done. Weird TP though. Almost like a bait TP. He wants them to think that he's left, but he's exactly where he once was. Chaos Knight not skilling his ultimate yet. I feel like he should. CK ultimate's pretty good. Five heroes of the dire side working on their very best Deathball impression. It's not TI4 anymore, but they're doing their best, and they are going to Deathball down a tier 2 at 14 minutes.
Radiant's bottom
Say 14 minutes, it's 14:56 when it died. That counts. Outpost stolen. The XP will no longer begin generating for the Radiant side. They find the Crystal Maiden who will immediately die. She's like, why are 5 heroes in our jungle?
That was a failed bolt.
Having gotten a kill, it empowers the Dire into feeling as though they can push for racks. And no offense, but who is gonna stop them? Chikiro has an ice path, PA can throw daggers, Bane can sort of sap at a distance. But they don't have good D-push. Crystal Maiden can respawn, she hasn't skilled Nova, so she offers nothing on the D-push. Radiant side pushing a tier 1, but here comes the team fight. Tombstone's down. Got a one-man decay so far. Macropyre's down. Dawn's cancelled. 1 kill already. Kira will definitely be next. And the push has been countered. Perhaps they will think about the tier 2 mid next on the menu. Bane's hasted up, running around. He's the only hero that has any net worth, and he is immediately dead. This is why you don't usually put a Bane mid. Because the best skill he has is Fiend's Grip, and that doesn't scale with levels or items much at all.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
PA jumped. She doesn't have any items. The boat will kill her. Oh no, she lives through the boat somehow. Ooh, the Chronosphere dropped. Pops the Crystal Maiden. Double kill for Winter Wyvern. And here they are, 3 heroes dead, 10k gold lead at 16 minutes, and they are knocking on the high ground. It's a shame they do not have a very formal pushing hero. Something like a Jakiro to liquid fire the tower, something like a Death Prophet to have the X's and chaining around. They're doing a great job deathballing, don't get me wrong, because they stand in the macropire for a long period of time. They really want that tower, but they don't quite have it yet. There's a fight under the tombstone, and that never works out for the Radiant. It never has, and it never will. 30 kills, the 9. It's going to keep racking up, though. Undying will fall, but his tombstone's still alive. There's 100 zombies attacking the CK. Tower falls, CK to follow, and it's another wipe. Edge AI running away with this game.
Top tower has fallen.
And it raises the question, if this was a best of 1, would you think that this is Edge AI outclassing them? Or would you think maybe this is just a fluke from the hero picks, the item builds, the laning setups? Thankfully, this is a best of 3. Valve default on Fairbots is not going home just because of this game, but it will put them in danger. Dawnbreaker slams in, kills the Jakiro. She swings around, she kills the Bane. Next up on the list, it's Phantom Assassin. She doesn't get the last hit. That one goes to the Faceless Void. CK is running in, and they're just ignoring him in favor of the Rax. They know that creeps are spawning in 20 to 30 seconds. They just let the Winter Wyvern die to this Chaos Knight in favor of the Rax, and I fully agree with them. Getting a Rax at 18 minutes is a lot more important than killing a Chaos Knight. Now things are getting a little bit awkward. Maybe they can finish off the CM. She's not quite stowed. There's the stun note. I'm going to crit on top. Ice Path. Is there a path to run away? Macro's down. Dawn, now that she's gripped, will die.
Hey God.
A couple of small moments that look okay for the unfair bots, but this game is by no means close. It is an absolute stomp. Boat comes in, but doesn't actually manage to save or kill anyone. Kunkka being descended on by 5 heroes, stunned up by the ice path, he will die. A good moment. The default unfair bots as they defend a tier 1. Ranged barracks are falling. I think they will die. Creeps don't spawn for 9 seconds, so yeah, these racks are dead.
Radiant's middle
I'm dying even thinking of pushing tier 4s.
Invisibility.
Wyvern's here. Splinter Blast popped on out. The siege creep making it awkward for the push because the towers are decimating the creeps while the siege creep's alive. I mean, they're actually hitting tier 4s at 20 minutes. They're not going to get them, but to do 80 damage to a tier 4 at 20 minutes, it's so cheeky. Clearing up the creeps, making way for this wagon wave. It also has a super flag creep too. Fortunately, the siege creep just hitting on the building, all the creeps just hitting the building. Finally, the building falls. Meanwhile, Chrono on 3 heroes under the tower. It's a clean up triple kill for the Faceless Void. So you're losing a fight top. You're losing tier 4s mid. The wave bot is it's somewhere, but you're not exactly winning anything down here. Undying and Wyvern, thankfully not heroes that really offer anything to a bush. Both of them low damage, not particularly high in armor, they don't have auras, they don't summon things.
To the deeps.
Another kill. Still Maiden picked off now. Wyvern's greatest benefit to this push is that she can tank some tower shots and heal herself up. As well as the Splinter Blast, clear out the creep wave, but... here she comes. EA? Oh, no, Jakiro gets it. Undying, thinking of manning up. Where's he going to put Tombstone? He's not put it anywhere yet. Sir, commit your Tombstone. Just shows how far ahead the dire side is, though. It's 4v1, and the Undying is... like, he's not going to live, I don't think. Yeah, he does die in the end, but it took them a long time. And in that time, the 3 heroes top have pushed all the way in top, cleared out the creeps top, cleared out the tier 1 top, and now they're looking at the tier 2. Death Ball's here. It's available. Not much, actually. Just the curse and the boat. Radiant, however, respecting how far ahead Dire is. Not now, though, they're running in. Boat's in. Maiden's dead. Oh, bot lane has a huge wave pushing in. Out comes the Macropire. Dawnbreaker's in deep, stunned in the Macropire. PA jumps her and she will die. Now they drag the Kunkka back, kill him too. That's a good little defense for the Radiant side. 1k gold swing in their favor. Just not enough. These little bumps, they're not making up for what's happening. Mid is going to keep pushing in. Bot is all the way in. This wave is huge. 5 ranged creeps. Full wave. Thankfully PA is here to defend it. I imagine maybe another 300 damage on this tower. If Dire was cheeky, they would glyph this. I would glyph this. I am obsessed with getting value out of glyph, and I don't know why. One more shot. This uphill. No. 1860 for that tower. This Undying is huge. Titan builds. Got a couple of staffs in progress. Bane's closer to it. 3 BKBs in progress. Oh, sorry. The Maiden is going to be an Ags. Everything you think about, the Dire side already has. This is the Ice Path. Didn't expect the Undying to stop. I'd love to see Undying man up here. Just ult, put the Tombstone on the cliff, and just go man mode. You can easily 1v3 these heroes. Ooh, the glyph. The grip, though, will finish him off. Oh, never mind. Dawn's coming in with the stun and the heal. Now the Tombstone's committed, and now it's a cleanup. There we go. Lovely. Double kill for the Undying. 3 kills. Dawnbreaker bailing him out of that a little bit. Mid wave is in. Top wave is in. Bot wave is in. They just have to decide which racks they're going to go for. 3 heroes are dead. Graph. Terrific. PA jumps the Wyvern, who can then cold embrace themselves while the Kunkka cleaving between the 2 of them. Out comes the Winter's Curse. That's the death of the PA. Boat comes in, clears out the creep wave and not much more, but the Chaos Knight will fall to the Splinter Blast. It's 2v4 and they've got some kills already. Kunkka, though, will fall in the end. 4 heroes coming into mid. I gotta respect their tenacity to just keep going for tier 4s and not anything else. Maybe clean up this building. Maybe you have someone buy a Blightstone, you know? If you're doing this much pushing. The minus armor aura. Maybe grab a buckler as well. Help the creeps survive, an extra 2 armor from them. First tier 4 falls. Second tier
Radiant's
4
middle
in jeopardy
tower
will
has
fall in about 6 seconds. 3 seconds. A little bit faster than I
Radiant's middle
expected.
tower
The
has
throne is exposed. All 5 Radiant heroes are here to only 4 of Dire. Is this the defense that Radiant is looking for? Again, Jakiro's not here. EA throws a dagger in. Experimental. In comes the CM ult. It's a lot of damage, but it's not enough. Dawnbreaker falls in exchange for the P8. And there it is! Chronosphere on 3 heroes. Tombstone spawning zombies in the Chrono. Double kill. Double kill for both the Void and the Undying. And that should be game. They just need to commit to hitting the Ancient. All heroes dead for 20 seconds. The catapult, for some reason, hitting this building. Don't ask me how it aggroed onto that building, but that is slowing their push a lot, actually. It's like 50 DPS from a catapult. Catapult's here now. 3 Radiant heroes are back, but not all of them. If they want to try and defend, they need to go right now. Because this catapult will not stop hitting. They have a glyph. Choosing not to use it. I think this is the passive version of calling PG. As Edge AI takes game 1 in crushing fashion. There were very few moments in which the Valve default unfair bots looked like they were having an okay game. From the entire laning stage, it was just a crushing from start to finish. I believe the graphs show that quite well. I mean, the Bane got very far ahead mid, but did nothing with it. The other 2 lanes were crushing, and then it was just massacre after massacre. Player net worth, we can see that at 10 minutes you have 4 Dire heroes in the top 5-ish. PA's kind of up there. And then it establishes to 5 Dire heroes in the top 6. Eventually the Bane falls out, and then it's just 5 on 5 from about... what's this? About 16, 17 minutes? I'd say 17 and a half minutes. It's just 5 Dire heroes on top, and Radiant never gets back into the game. MVPs are going to be hard to choose because one side absolutely stomped and the other side was stomped. So I am going to wager an MVP onto Jakiro for having the least deaths as well as the most kill involvement, it looks like to me. Maybe not actually. 5 plus 9 is 14, Chaos Knight is 17, but Jakiro did what he could. I think he did some great macro pyres, I think he did some decent ice paths. Got First Blood, I believe? No, that was the Undying Dawn. But Jakiro got an early kill that surprised me, that was just like Ice Path and then Phantom Assassin jumped in. It's hard to give an MVP to a side that got crushed, but Jakiro will be that choice for me. On the Dire side, the most impressive KDA looks to be Undying and Faceless Void, both of which are hovering in that 30 and 3 area. Undying with 34 combined KDA to 3 deaths, and Void with 33. They're both very close on that. Void with a few more kills because he's the carry, pops down the Chronosphere, gets some kills. Undying cruised the early game, crushed his lane. Who do we give it to? Undying's damage was a lot higher than Void's, but Void did more building. Void did a bit more disabling. He got some good chronos, fair play to him. I think I'll give it to both of them, whatever. We're barely taking the MVP system seriously anyway as we've been doing it, so Void and Undying, I'll give them both a shared MVP for the 2 of them. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in Game 2 of this best of 3. Let's see whether or not Valve Default Unfair bots have anything left in the tank, or if Edge AI just has their number. Thank you for joining me, I'll see you in the next game. Bye.